It's a slogan, it's a motto. So it's universal, and people are gonna gravitate towards it because what the hell, Black lives do matter. But at the same time, we gotta look at the substance behind the symbol. That's important.
Do I think it's completely focused on Black lives in general? That I'd have to question.
Black Lives Matter is a fraud. This is the media taking and creating, this picture and this face, this imaginary, like the Wizard of Oz.
You can listen to us, or you can get ran over.
Mark Carter, M-A-R-K, C-A-R-T-E-R.
Yeah, T-O-T-I-O, Hardiman, H-A-R-D-I-M-A-N.
Beatrice Boyce, V as in Victor, E-T-R-E-S-S, last name Boyce, B-O-Y-C-E.
I grew up right here in this community here, West Garfield, East Garfield, the Henry Horner Projects, Avalon Park on the south side, the Austin community. I know a lot of these young brothers and sisters out here.
I'm a Black woman that's living in Chicago that has raised 6 children.
And I wasn't but 19 when the system kidnapped me because of mass incarceration that was led by the Clintons.
Because everybody's going to try to connect themselves to a particular movement that appears to be taking charge, so to speak, okay? Because right now one of the biggest misperceptions in the media that every time something's organized, they flip it under the Black Lives Matter banner.
This media is influencing these young white college students to get involved with this, stop the killing rallies and all these types of things. Wherever a march happens, they want you to believe that that's Black Lives Matter.
That's the media's job. That's what they do. They promote what they want to promote.
Their agenda is to use these young people to undermine the real Black agenda to turn things around in the Black community. This so-called Black Lives Matter movement, they're not in these communities. It's all a hoax. And what they do is attach that hashtag to anything that's going on. But it's not real.
What's the benefit to protesting and marching with Black Lives Matter? What's the true benefit of that? If they really want to fix this system, it's not about marching. We've been marching since Martin Luther King. Where have we gotten? We're 40 years nowhere. Nowhere. And I don't know how many Black people are within that organizations that are really fighting holistically, wholeheartedly for what Black people really need, what we need as a community, as a whole, as a race of people to really get us economically to the top. That's my focus and that's my concern.
But I'm going to call a spade though. I would like to see some of that millions of dollars they receive trickle back down to the community here and help some people for real. If Black Lives Matter, the $100 million you got, spend some of that money out here with the brothers and sisters in the city.
You have humongous non-for-profit organizations that come in our communities as if they're here to save our souls, but what they're really doing is building their wealth off of the backs of poor people.
What is so-called Black Lives Matter doing to solve the problem? Nothing, because they're not real. These are nothing but communist groups. And so people like George Soros funds these fictitious groups to then come out and keep up this confusion and the issues are never resolved. They're never resolved because it was never meant to be resolved.
A lot of my life work has been around building horizontal shared power movements because we know that that's an effective way to create a crisis in the social domain.
It's not resolved by a candidate. It's resolved by, through an ongoing, continuing struggle for social justice.
It's only to keep up confusion. It's only to dismantle the government if they can. This is what Black Lives Matter is all about. The same democratic liberal machine working its way through this LGBT community has been the same liberal machine that has starved our communities, that has worked along with some of our own elected officials and even some of our own leadership in our communities to lock us up and lock us out of opportunities.
Some of the leaders in the past have failed the people. Unemployment is still high for African American people. High rates of incarceration. Those issues need to be addressed.
And any issue that they can attach themselves to, they attach themselves to that issue. Whether it's a police shooting, mass incarceration, reparations, all these things. they attach themselves. And after they've done their pimping, then they get back on the plane and go back where they're from.
In our community, we want something else. Let's attract our children, to reduce the unemployment rate. Let's figure out how we get them off the streets permanently from killing one another.
So it's all orchestrated. Social engineering, this is all structured through this liberal agenda, this social engineering projects coming out of universities like the University of Chicago.
What's their benefit? Are you going to help them further their education? Are you going to help them get into the real estate market so that they can own property? Are you going to help them enhance economic black resources so that they can really fit within the middle class? What are you going to do? Are you going to prevent the murders?
Well, they must be held accountable for trying to use our children to cause upheaval, to cause more and more police shootings, to cause more disrespect that our children are starting to display for their parents and things because they're being coached by these dangerous people. The best thing that they can do is stay the hell out of our way because we know that they are a fake and a fraud.
It's not an authentic black movement.